All right, so Ben's up first. He says, hey, guys, if I have a video that has landed on page 2, is Video Powerhouse what it takes to get to page 1? Are they the embeds spread out over time? How long is it before they take effect? Push to page 1 on the video that they are aimed at. Okay, Ben, I can't answer whether or not that's all that is going to need. It's likely that it will. I mean, yes, it will help. Sometimes you need more than just the embeds, though. So I can't give you a definitive answer. Chances are it's going to help. But what I would suggest doing is you can, you should be able to set up a free account in SerpSpace if you don't already have it, and go look at how when you go to Video Powerhouse, you can set up, like start a campaign, and it will give you the option to drip the embeds out. So it's up to you as to how often, how aggressive you want to be with it. I can tell you what my strategy is, the exact same process that I use every time. And so whenever I upload or go to rank a video, after the video's been indexed, I make sure it's indexed right. And then what I'll do is I'll go to SerpSpace and I'll select 50 embeds. I always start off with just 50, guys. There's no reason to go overboard. I know a lot of people like to go in and, order 300 embeds or whatever. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, I always start off with 50 and then wait to see about 2 weeks what the results have been. 2 or 3 weeks, depends on the drip rate. So, for example, I'll do 50 embeds. I'll always choose secondary embeds, and I select the proper categories. And this will make sense if you go into the SerpSpace dashboard for Video Powerhouse. You'll know what I mean. But you can select secondary embeds as well, and then make sure you select the correct categories. And then I like to drip mine out for either 7 or 14 days. Okay, I select 7 or 14. Really, it's just at random for me. There's really no rhyme or reason. I just always like to drip them out. And then, so I usually wait about 3 weeks, so about 21 days for me to go back and check on the video, or I usually add videos like that, the URLs to ProRankTracker.com, so that I can track the rankings. It does a really good job of tracking YouTube videos. So I'll just go in about 3 weeks later. I set a calendar event from the date that I create the embed campaign in SerpSpace. Set a calendar event to remind me to go back and check on it in a couple of weeks, and 3 weeks, and then I'll go look at it then, and I'll see where it's at. If it needs more from there, then I'll order another 50. Sometimes I'll order link building to the actual video itself, or to some of the embedded properties that I have through my own network, which would be my own syndication networks, whatever it takes. Okay.
Can I add that? Yeah, that people should set realistic expectations. Like, did he mention whether we need to know whether the niche is highly competitive, whether there's hardly any competition? If there's hardly any competition, one video and one embed run should be good enough. It's already on page 2. If it's highly competitive, then it's likely that you're going to need more additional embeds, and then more videos to push up that first video, right, and that playlist as a silo, so that when you power it up and you link build to it, it all gets pushed up, and that video that you want to hit, that first page, will hit the first page. Yep. So, I mean, set your expectations first on you have to know the niche that you're working in and how to go after it. One video in a highly competitive niche is not likely to get you anywhere unless you just hit that random factor where Google just loves your video and they just push it up just because, and it happens. Yeah, so keep that in mind.
And I agree with Marco. He took the words right out of my mouth as far as using the playlist. So essentially set up a silo, using a playlist with the video that you have on page 2 right now that you're trying to rank as the top of the silo. And then you can create, variations or target variations of the keyword, longer tail versions, synonyms or co-occurring type keywords, LSI versions of the keyword, that kind of stuff. And you can create, multiple versions of that same video targeting those various keywords, and then linking those up to the top site, top video in the silo, which is the one that you're trying to rank. And there's multiple ways to do the interlinking for that, right? You can do the mono silo method. If you don't have YouTube Silo Academy, you should. It's a $7 product. I would go back and review that. There's some diagrams in there for how the linking should be done within the silo. There's some 3 different types of linking strategies, and you can select which one. If it's really competitive, I would suggest going with the mono silo, but there's a couple others if they're not as competitive. But that's very, very effective, because then you also have the option of sending the supporting videos within the silo through the embed network, which is very powerful. And then lastly, the other part of that I would recommend is, if you get to a point where the SEO, you've SEO'd the hell out of it, you've done several embeds, whatever it takes, and you're still having a little bit of trouble with getting it ranked. If it's a local video, well, you can do it either local or national, global. It doesn't really matter. But for local, I've been doing, and I've mentioned this many times before, but I like to set up YouTube ads where I get some localized IP clicks to the video. And I just set something like, I'll start off with $1 a day budget just until the ads start running, and they run for a couple of days. And then I'll drop the budget down to like 50 cents per day. So you only end up spending $15 per month on having localized IP, like real genuine traffic. You're buying it. You're buying traffic from Google, from YouTube. Does that make sense? And so, YouTube tells you it's against their terms of service to buy YouTube views unless you buy them through the AdWords platform. And then it's perfectly okay. And so I've been using that as kind of like my secret weapon outside of, like, after I've exhausted all my SEO methods, if it still hasn't ranked where I want it to be ranked, then I go in and set up a YouTube ad, and it just takes a few minutes to do, and you can let it run for, a month. You end up spending about $15 or $20, especially if you spend $1 a day for the first like 4 or 5 days, and then $15 for the rest of the month. So it ends up being like $20 that you spend, but typically within 2 or 3 weeks, that thing's going to rank. And then you can actually terminate or pause the ad altogether. Or if you're okay, if it's making you money, I would suggest leaving the ad running at like 50 cents per day because it's only $15. Like, for example, I've got a lot of, I do video SEO, wholesale SEO work for a video production company. And now whenever they send me another what they call a Google Boost video. So that's somebody that subscribed to that program, which means they want their video boosted in Google. I do the SEO thing first, and then I just go up and set up an ad right away for 50 cents a day. And because to me, I'm making $100 per video per month anyways. And so spending $15 is kind of like a guaranteed way to keep it ranked is a small price for me to pay. Okay.
Bradley, it's funny that you mentioned that, because YouTube will tell you it's against their terms of service to buy YouTube views, unless you do it through the platform. Facebook will tell you buying likes is against their terms of service unless you do it through their platform.
Right.
And all they're doing, like all of these, you can buy YouTube views, you can buy, I don't know, whatever, you can buy Facebook likes, whatever. All of what these guys are doing pretty much is taking your money and then advertising your stuff on Facebook or YouTube, but for specific countries. Like, for example, you can get like less than a penny less than a penny per like on countries like, I don't know, third world countries, right? Middle East or Africa countries. But the problem with that is that it's not worth your time or your money, your traffic. So if you spend like $20 on real visitors targeted on Facebook or on AdWords, like targeting people on the US or in Canada, whatever, like buying countries, you can get a lot more mileage out of your buck, because at the end of the day, you might end up with better rankings, but you might also end up getting a buyer, right? Yeah. So which does not happen at all when you're buying like these cheap likes and whatnot. So it's funny that you mentioned that, and I thought it was hilarious that they're both playing the same game, right?
Yeah.
And all of these third-party vendors, they're doing just that, but with low-quality traffic. So.
Yep. And I would recommend for targeting options, if you're going to do the AdWords route, just go with topical targeting. And I end up using whatever video it is that I'm going to rank as just a in-stream ad, right? Those are the pre-roll video ads. So I used to also set up what they call video discovery ads. Those are the search ads. Those are the ones that show up at the top of the search results in YouTube. And so that would be like keyword traffic. But a lot of like I found for the local type stuff, it's not it doesn't work as well. It's just better just to use a pre-roll ad, in my opinion, and through my own testing for local stuff. And then all you do is target for your targeting. You set your geographic targeting. So you can set by zip code, by city or state, or county or whatever, or you can even just do like a radius targeting, and that works well also. And then I just select the topic. So I go to the topic for targeting, because there's interest targeting, right? Or which they call like affinity targeting, which is like there's affinity audiences, and then there's in market ROI targeting, and that's for people like if you can find your specific niche or category in the ROI, the in market category, then select that, because that's very likely that those people may actually end up purchasing, or becoming a lead, or doing whatever conversion action it is that you're looking for them to do, if they're in market. But it's rather limited, the number of categories in the in market targeting. So I would recommend going to the topical targeting, and then you can just select your topic that's most closely related. And that works out well, because then what happens is with your geographic targeting as well as your topical targeting, your ad is only going to show in front of other people's videos. It doesn't matter which video it shows in front of. So in other words, somebody could be watching a stupid funny cat video, but they were recently searching for, let's say it was for roof repair, right? Let's say that you had a roof repair client, and this is the video that you're trying to rank. And I'm just assuming it's local. It might not be, but I'm just saying this is what I do. If it's a roof repair company and we're trying to promote their video, somebody might be watching a stupid cat video or funny cat video or whatever. I think all cats are stupid. Hope I didn't just piss off half our audience, but anyways, if somebody could be watching a funny cat video but if they've been searching for roofing stuff, like how to fix a roof leak and like that kind of stuff in the past week or so, then your video could show in front of whatever the other video is, and they have to be within the the geographic radius or area that you set in your targeting options. So it ends up being a very relevant click, because they click through, or they get a view and or a click, because it's coming from somebody that's from a local IP, right? So that's a great signal for ranking a video, as well as somebody that has shown an interest in that particular topic based upon their search history. And so it ends up being a really relevant click, if that makes sense. Okay, it works really well. And it's a rather inexpensive way to kind of boost any SEO work that you're doing.